Is it possible to overcome adultery? Dive deep into your own worth and think about whether you are able to live with the fact that your partner has cheated on you. Not everyone can recover from such an experience. It is normal for couples to go through several crises during the years they are together. Living together, having children together, all these things help to test one's relationship, but this is completely normal. We expect them to come and we expect to overcome them. However, there is one situation that is not normal, which leads to crisis: infidelity. Getting over infidelity can be difficult. Infidelity destroys the trust between a couple. The trust, which is an elementary part of a properly functioning relationship. Being unfaithful creates a situation in which there is a very clear before and after, and sometimes there is nothing after. In this article we will try to identify how, and if it is possible to rebuild a relationship and overcome infidelity. Are there different types of adultery? Yes, it is there. Although there are specific ideas that vary between cultures about what adultery is, each person has their own personal boundaries and personal definition. Practically, 99% of the world's population believe that sexual or intimate contact with a third party is adultery. However, we don't quite agree when it comes to these things. Talking in a sexual or intimate way with another, viewing pornography, seeing a former lover without telling one's partner about it, to flirt with or score a person. All these situations, which were mentioned above, can be considered as adultery by someone and not by others. Almost all of us understand that sexual contact with the third party is adultery. But we don't agree on what pornography or flirting means. However, it is important to be aware that each person enters a relationship with their own personal ideas and boundaries. When both parties do not have the same position, there is often a lot of jealousy and conflict regarding the subject. Sometimes one person thinks one thing is cheating while the other has a different opinion. Problems may then arise as to whether it is worth saving the relationship. What happens after infidelity? What are the consequences? Infidelity can put a relationship in great crisis. This can occur in traditional or monogamous couples, where relationships or intimate contact with other people are not allowed. Which means we're not talking about people who are in polyamorous relationships. Love is so short and forgetfulness so long. Pablo Neruda. When infidelity hits a relationship, parts of the relationship will either break or disappear. The greatest harm comes from the fact that there has been fraud and dishonesty, rather than the physical extent of the unfaithful act itself. The trust in the relationship is dissolved. You no longer feel like a team and you can no longer see your partner the same way again. Life after infidelity. How to overcome infidelity. To overcome infidelity, it depends on the personal values of both parties. Whether a person can overcome adultery is already predetermined before it even happens. If envy is close to them, or if they find it difficult to forgive and forget, then it will be really difficult to overcome infidelity. If, then, they have a very traditional view of the romantic relationship, then it can be very difficult to move on. All of these are examples of why it can be difficult to recover from the fact that one's partner is unfaithful. This is because the situation completely destroys everything you think your relationship was. And gluing all the pieces back together is incredibly hard and goes against some very deep values. It is different how easily one can overcome infidelity. It can be much harder to forgive your partner if they've been unfaithful, if you've already tried it before. This is natural, as the new infidelity reminds one of one's previous experience, as well as all the feelings and all the pain that went with it. One's emotions accumulate, and therefore it can feel even worse and even more catastrophic than the first time. But for those who have cheated themselves before, it might be easier to forgive if the partner has cheated on them. It makes good sense. These people can put themselves in the situation that the unfaithful partner is in. They can probably better understand what caused the partner to be unfaithful. To explain it another way, you could say that if you have been unfaithful before, it might be easier to empathize with someone who has been unfaithful to you. In this context, overcoming infidelity might be easier and at least not an impossible challenge. This is especially so if it is about one-time thing that did not stand for a long time. It is easier to forgive one's partner if the infidelity did not last for a long time. Infidelity and your values. At the same time, the importance of sex is a big part of overcoming infidelity. If a person who understands sex as something closely related to love and trust is the victim of infidelity, it will be extremely difficult for the person to forgive. This is precisely because even if they try to get over it, their heart won't let them. Either way, it will be incredibly difficult for them. I think you still love me, but we can't run away from the fact that I'm not enough for you. Haruki Murakami. Although great progress has been made in gender sexuality, there is still a popular idea that men are more likely to cheat than women. This is not true of you. There is no difference in how a woman or a man overcomes adultery. Personality and personal values matter far more than gender. How to rebuild a relationship after infidelity. First of all, give yourself some space and time away from your partner. Distancing yourself from your partner to avoid your worst side of yourself coming out is a very sensible idea. You may want to try to act with revenge, and therefore come to regret it later. Second, avoid asking for details about the adulterous act, i.e., who it was with, where it happened, how it happened. Every piece of information you will get will only add to your torment. Furthermore, it destroys the possibility of moving forward. Knowing the details won't make you feel better. Dive deep into your own worth and think about whether you are able to live with the fact that your partner has cheated on you. For a short while, forget all about your obligations, such as house, children, work and family. You need to be honest with yourself, and most importantly, find out if you really want to move on. Finally, remember that if you feel lost, ask for professional help. Stop asking for advice from everyone around you. Friends, neighbors and family members cannot do what a therapist can do. He or she will be able to find out what is best for you. A therapist will not overprotect you or judge you or your partner. And most importantly, she has probably helped many others before you.